Wow, what a show. That ending was not what I was expecting. I mean, okay. Um, I guess we all kind of expected it, kind of, based on what we heard all over the internet this week, but still, it was quite a shocker, and I'll get to it here shortly. Anyways, as always, I am RevHellCowboy, and this is my WWE Battleground review video. Good pay-per-view. Not a great one, but still it was decent. I enjoyed it. And I actually got most of my predictions right. If you missed my predictions video, which I actually posted pretty late because, things happen. I mentioned that in the predictions video why I did it so late. Actually, about 2 hours before the show was about to come on. Other than that, I did pretty good on my predictions that I made. Some I got wrong, but it's not a big deal. So for the kickoff show, we had King Barrett versus R-Truth, aka King What's Up, with the winner deserving the right to be king, and thankfully King Barrett won. And I like R-Truth. He's entertaining. The King What's Up thing has been pretty funny, but I'm glad Barrett won because it would have been stupid to have Wade Barrett win the, King of the Ring tournament only to later lose his crown to R-Truth. It would have made no sense, and, the King of the Ring is supposed to be something that's prestigious, supposed to take someone into the main event status, and if he would have lost, that would have sucked. So, that's the first prediction I got right. Now we get to the opening of the show. We had Randy Orton versus Sheamus in a match that didn't really make much sense. I don't understand why we had it on the card, but whatever. I guess you gotta have something on there, since they had to scrap one match at the last moment and add a new one. But this one, nobody really had anything to gain. And I originally did predict that Sheamus was going to win. Unfortunately, well, he lost, but I guess it's not really a big deal. It was a decent match. I kind of missed a part of it because I was waiting for my friend to come pick me up, so... But I got to see the good majority of the match towards the end. RKO out of nowhere. No surprise. So like I said, okay match, even though it kind of hurt Sheamus a little because he needed to maybe win this match to, I don't know, maybe just continue on his strong heel run, but oh well. He's still the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, so at least that wasn't on the line, so it's not really a big deal. Next match was the Primetime Players defending the WWE Tag Team Championship against New Day, which it was Big E and Kofi, which I kind of figured because they usually have Xavier out at ringside like their cheerleader usually. And he was cheering on, Big E talking about bicep meat and stuff. I was like, what the hell? And then, speaking of Big E, I think about when he had Darren Young on the apron, and the apron was used at least quite a bit today, where like Darren Young was on the apron, Big E does a splash on him, like, oh boy, that hurt. And what really hurt is when Titus was kind of channeling his inner Big Show, slapping Kofi on the chest. I was like, damn, and he did it twice. But in the end, the Primetime Players got the victory, and I was pretty happy because, it wasn't like a big match, but I predicted that the Primetime Players would retain, and they did, so I am 2 for 1 of my predictions. Next match was Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. Pretty decent match, and even at one point it got pretty brutal when Bray Wyatt did a DT on the apron to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns almost got counted out. Now the biggest shock at the end of the match before, Roman Reigns had a chance to win it, some mysterious hooded fellow, but by the way, had his beard showing, so it might have been obvious to some people, helped Bray Wyatt win the match by interfering, and then, Bray Wyatt was able to do his scissor yell and get the pin. And of course, I predicted that match that Bray Wyatt was going to win, and he did, so not bad. I am 2 for 1 on my predictions. Now the guy in the hood ended up being Luke Harper, so maybe we're about to see the reunion of the Wyatt family. I know Eric Rowan is injured for what I've heard, so I guess we'll see what happens if it'll just be Bray Wyatt and Harper, or if Rowan will return. We'll see a reunion of the Wyatt family. I guess only time will tell. And In all honesty, I think they should have never broke up the Wyatt family in the first place. I mean, it was okay at first, but then it just didn't really do much. So, I guess we'll have to see. And then since they had to scrap the Intercontinental Triple Threat match because of Ryback's staph infection, which I predicted Ryback would win that anyway, so that match didn't happen, so that don't count toward my predictions. Instead, we had a different Triple Threat. We had the Divas in action, which let's see, there was one representative for each one of the 3 Diva teams. We had Charlotte representing her team. We had Brie Bell representing the Team Bell, and we had Sasha Banks. And pretty good match, and it was kind of a toss-up between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I didn't want Brie Bell to win, but she ended up being the one that got defeated anyway. And I kind of did lean towards Charlotte more, but I wouldn't have a problem if Sasha would have won, because let one of the upstarts win on the pay-per-view. It's always good to do that. So if I would have made this prediction, if the match would have been announced beforehand, I would have picked Charlotte, and well, she won, so we'll count that as an unofficial correct prediction. But as of this moment, I'm still 2-1 in my main predictions. Or 3 for 1. Okay, I'm 3 for 1. Okay, I'm just a little thrown off because the main event still kind of has me a little all rattled up, kind of thinking, what the heck. But before we get to that, we had John Cena defend the U.S. title against Kevin Owens, which was a pretty good match. And let me be honest, John Cena has put on some great matches lately. You can love or hate Cena all you want. Well, a lot of people hate Cena, but he's been wrestling his ass off regardless of whoever he goes against. Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and everybody else he's been going against the last few months. And then Kevin Owens is playing Move Thief. He does the shoulder tackles that Cena does, 5-knuckle shuffle. He even does the STF and the attitude adjustment. And I was thinking to myself, is Cena gonna do the pop-up powerbomb at some point to get revenge on Kevin Owens for stealing his move? Cena pulls out the good moves they did, like that flipping pile driver, springboard. I think he did the springboard stunner at one point, and it was a decent match. And Owens came pretty close to win. Well, unfortunately, Cena he had one more thing, he had that one last move, and he was able to, get the victory, which unfortunately for me counts as another wrong prediction, because I had predicted that Owens was going to win, since he had lost the NXT Championship a few weeks ago, and so it would have been Owens' chance to become U.S. Champion. Well, I guess maybe we'll have to wait till SummerSlam. I don't know, but if they're going to do what they did with Rusev and have Cena just go over Owens again at SummerSlam, it would have been just, I don't know, pointless feud. I mean, I don't know why they're going to do that. So hopefully, either we're going to see Cena take on Owens at SummerSlam and Owens wins, or hell, maybe even a triple threat. Maybe they'll still get Cesaro involved. Maybe even a fatal 4-way. Rusev might have a chance to go back for the U.S. Championship. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. And then, well, even though their match was scrapped, The Miz still came out and talked about how he would beat Ryback, and saying how Ryback had to get a staph infection because he was scared of The Miz and all that, blah, 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 blah. Starts hate on the Big Show, like, well, of course we all hate on the Big Show, why not? And, as he's saying how Big Show retired, because Big Show, and of course Miz changed his tune, saying, oh, why don't we reunite as Show Miz? Knockout. Big Show knocks The Miz the fuck out. Excuse my language, but I guess that was an okay segue to fill some time while we wait for the main event. So finally, of course, the main event itself. Seth Rollins defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins comes out, stands there for a few minutes before Brock Lesnar's music hits. And, well, as expected, Brock Lesnar did dominate the match, doing like countless suplexes. I think he did at least 13 or 14 of them. Now, of course, he tried to F5, Rollins at one point. Rollins tried to do the pedigree, and before Brock Lesnar thought he had a chance to beat Rollins, gong, lights go out, and then The Undertaker appears, and Seth Rollins and the referee are gone. And Taker decides to kick Lesnar in the balls and beats the crap out of him. Tombstone pile driver, and that's how we end Battleground. And I did predict that Brock Lesnar was going to win by disqualification, so I got that right. But I'm still surprised that it wasn't by Seth Rollins, that maybe the Authority would still be involved. Maybe Triple H would have got involved because, you know, Triple H and Brock Lesnar have had bad blood in the past. Or Seth Rollins would have grabbed the championship and hit Lesnar with it. I heard the rumors that Undertaker was going to come back, but maybe it was going to be after the match or something. I don't know. It wasn't a bad show. And I got, you know, the majority of my predictions right. Not including, you know, the impromptu Divas triple threat. So 4 out of 2 or 5 out of 2, you know, when you include the Divas match, you know, not bad. And, you know, it was still a decent show, even despite the kind of weird ending. If I have to rate, I'll say about, well, I'm going to say about a 3.5 out of 5. Because I feel like trying to rate out 10 is kind of more difficult. Just because it could have been a, I don't know, it's close to being a 4. It's still not the pay-per-view I expected, but at the same time it was still enjoyable, so I'm not going to hate on it. So anyways, feel free to give me your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the main event and all the other matches, and what you thought about Undertaker returning. Do you think it's too soon? Do you think we should have waited till closer to WrestleMania? Should have been done a year ago, when it made more sense? Because that's kind of how I feel, and how my friend who I was watching with, he felt the same way. And I was on Periscope talking about it. And of course talking about it on Twitter and all that. So, yeah, what a show. Anyways, as always, I am RevHellCowboy. Rock on and keep collecting.